Amazon is on the verge of integrating XRP into the fabric of the internet. And to tell you the truth, very few people truly understand the profound implications of this development. Under the codename Project Quantum Ledger, a roadmap was discovered through a leak that occurred during a breakout session at the AWS Summit. Internal documents and engineering insights indicate that the primary objective of this initiative is to integrate the XRP ledger directly into the core infrastructure of Amazon Web Services. To put it simply, the implications are absolutely mind-boggling. If XRP were to become the native settlement layer behind Amazon Web Services, AWS, then we would no longer be talking about speculation here. Rather, we would be talking about infrastructure-level integration. AWS is responsible for powering more than one-third of the world's internet, websites, apps, streaming services, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence workloads. The most shocking part is about to be revealed. Engineers working for Amazon Web Services have determined that in order to support the volume and velocity of transaction flow across AWS globally, XRP would need to be valued at $300,000 per coin. This is not a dream that is merely aspirational. Rather, it is a necessity that is necessary for liquidity. Let's take a step back in order to comprehend how we arrived at this point. Amazon Web Services, AWS, is the foundation of the internet. You are probably interacting with Amazon Web Services, AWS, if you use services such as Netflix, Instagram, Reddit, Uber, or even certain government websites. Because it serves millions of customers and processes trillions of compute transactions and calls on a daily basis, people can truly with that kind of are of the utmost importance. This is where the XRP ledger is a perfect fit for the situation. XRP global cross-border payments by virtue of its speed, security, scalability, and low cost. Just for a moment, try to picture the same to each and every digital interaction that takes place across the cloud. It is anticipated that Project Quantum Ledger will progress through 3 stages. Phase 1 will involve Amazon Web Services, AWS, integrating XRPL gateway nodes into its most popular compute services, namely EC2 and Lambda. The XRPL is effectively connected to the global infrastructure of Amazon Web Services, AWS, which enables developers to choose whether or not to incorporate XRP as a payment mechanism into their applications. In the second phase, a payment tokenization layer is introduced. This layer allows for the billing and settlement of AWS services in XRP. This indicates that businesses could begin using XRP as a direct payment method for computing time, storage, and network usage. In the third phase, things start to get really crazy. The XRP ledger is fully integrated as a native settlement layer between the various microservices that are hosted on Amazon Web Services. During that point, XRP transforms into something that is not only invisible but also fundamental, becoming ingrained in the workings of the internet itself. When it comes to this level of integration, a token that is not only stable but also liquid and extremely valuable is required. According to the documents that were stolen, engineers working for Amazon Web Services, AWS, conducted simulations based on the estimated volume of microtransactions across their ecosystem. It would be necessary for XRP to scale exponentially in order to accommodate the billions of API calls that occur every day and the possibility that each microservice will incur a settlement cost. What is the end result? A valuation of $300,000 per unit. In order to support real-time global liquidity, institutional purchasers are going to flood in. This will cause regulatory agencies to raise their eyebrows, but by that time, the train will have already left the station. It is possible for Amazon Web Services, AWS, to incorporate XRP into every stage of enterprise development, including serverless architectures, blockchain-as-a-service modules, enterprise billing systems, and edge computing. In addition, once XRP has been written into those layers, attempting to reverse that integration would be analogous to attempting to remove TCP/IP from the internet environment. It becomes enduring, adhesive, and undetectable, but it is present everywhere. Additionally, this completely changes the narrative surrounding XRP. There is more to it than just the coin of the bankers. It is more than just a tool for sending money. The cloud economy will use it as the default value transfer layer due to its capabilities. That is a significant change in the game. There will be a sudden realization among startups, governments, and global enterprises that they are able to interact with one another in real time by utilizing a neutral, decentralized ledger that is embedded within the infrastructure that they already use for Amazon Web Services, AWS. An incredible network effect is brought about by this. Any business that uses Amazon Web Services, AWS, will at the very least take into consideration incorporating XRP into their billing, settlement, or tokenization systems if Amazon decides to support it. Even non-financial applications such as the Internet of Things or artificial intelligence could use XRPL microtransactions to route payments or value. First, let's take a moment to discuss the investor side of things. The vast majority of cryptocurrency traders are looking for the next bull run with the expectation of catching a 10x or 20x return. However, the leak of Reject Quantum Ledger presents an entirely new perspective. If Amazon Web Services, AWS, truly requires XRP to reach $300,000 per coin in order to function efficiently at scale, then this becomes the ultimate long-term price anchor, not hype, not narrative, and not mathematical liquidity logic. The reason that Ripple has been so focused on developing deep liquidity corridors, institutional relationship, and regularity can also be explained by this. They have been aware for a considerable amount of time that the true value does not originate from speculation, but rather from becoming essential. How likely is it that this leak is a hoax? Most likely. However, let's take a look at the hints. Ripple has quietly released tools for enterprise integration that are compatible with Amazon Web Services, AWS. Updates that would make XRPL even more compatible with cloud computing have been put through stress testing by the company. During the year 2024, Amazon posted job listings that made reference to blockchain, native cloud optimization, and cryptocurrency settlement infrastructure. There is evidence that enterprise-level partners are being onboarded, as indicated by Ripple Labs' own hires. Moreover, you should know that when you add to that the growing connection between tokenization of real-world assets and the capabilities of XRPL, the pieces really start to fall into place. How Amazon Web Services, AWS, has traditionally dealt with innovation is even more illuminating. There were leaks that the launch of EC2, which is their compute service. There were rumors going around prior to Lambda. When Amazon Web Services, AWS, is ready to release their product to the market, they do not make any announcements about it. That is most likely what we are witnessing right now, a covert build out of the XRP ecosystem within the infrastructure of Amazon Web Services, which is preparing the groundwork for a significant shift. When the announcement is made, whether it be in a press release, a developer conference, or a product launch, as a result, the XRP community needs to maintain vigilance and keep themselves informed. There is more to this partnership than meets the eye. In no way is this a side deal. The combination of the digital infrastructure of the internet with the internet of value is what this refers to. In the event that XRP is made the default transactional layer within Amazon Web Services, AWS, it will immediately assume a role that is worth trillions of dollars in the realms of commerce, computing, and digital operations. There is currently no other token, not even Ethereum or Bitcoin, that is positioned to provide that kind of back-end utility that is invisible but all-encompassing because it is seamless. The repercussions extend not only to the cost. When we talk about reorganizing entire industries, we are talking about it. Integration between Amazon Web Services and XRPL will allow for the automatic settlement of payments in supply chains. IoT sensors could send value to each other for the purpose of data sharing. Artificial intelligence models could monetize the amount of compute time on a per-request basis, and video streaming platforms could charge in real time for each frame that is viewed. It is not in the future that all of this becomes feasible. Rather, it is in the present moment when the necessary infrastructure is already in place. The leak makes this promise to the audience. Result, what are our options now? We are at a fork in the road. The option is unmistakable. You have the option of either dismissing this as yet another wild rumor or recognizing the signs of the most significant infrastructure shift in the history of cryptocurrency. While it is possible that Project Quantum Ledger has not yet been confirmed, all of the evidence points to the fact that it is not only feasible but also necessary and inevitable. In the event that XRP becomes the foundation of Amazon Web Services, AWS, it will not merely be a top 10 coin. The coin, the digital asset that makes it possible for the internet to function in a more effective manner, will be there. In order to make gains in the short term, this is not about trading tokens. Having an understanding of the architecture, its widespread adoption is the focus of this discussion. Specifically,